How to pay off debt forever in 8 simple steps. What if I told you that millions of people spend years paying off debt and still end up owing almost the same amount? Imagine working every day, getting paid every month, making your payments faithfully, and somehow your debt keeps following you like a shadow. Here's the truth. The problem isn't that you're lazy. It isn't that you don't earn enough. And it definitely isn't because you're bad with money. Most people are trapped because nobody ever taught them a simple system. Today, I'll show you 8 practical steps that can help you pay off debt. And more importantly, stay out of debt for good. Stay until the end because step number 7 is the biggest mistake people make after paying off thousands of dollars, and it sends them right back into debt. Let's begin. Debt doesn't usually arrive all at once. It starts with one purchase, then another, a credit card, a personal loan, a car payment, maybe an unexpected medical bill. Then life happens. Interest builds. Minimum payments become normal. Months become years. Before you know it, your paycheck already belongs to someone else before it even reaches your bank account. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. The good news? Debt is not a life sentence. Thousands of ordinary people have escaped it, not because they won the lottery, not because they suddenly became rich, but because they changed their system. That's exactly what we're going to build today. Step 1, face the truth. The first step is the hardest, not paying. Looking. Most people avoid checking their balances because it feels painful, but ignoring debt doesn't make it disappear. Imagine your kitchen is on fire. Would closing your eyes stop the fire? Of course not. Money works the same way. Today, write down every single debt, every credit card, every loan, every buy now, pay later account, every amount you owe. Don't guess. Know the exact number. Include total balance, interest rate, minimum payment, due date. Seeing everything in one place may feel overwhelming. That's okay, because now you finally know what you're fighting. You cannot defeat an enemy you refuse to see. Retention, tease. And here's something surprising. The next step is where most people accidentally waste thousands of dollars without realizing it. Step 2, stop digging the hole. Imagine trying to empty a bathtub while the faucet is still running. Impossible. That's exactly what happens when people keep using credit while trying to pay off debt. Every new purchase makes yesterday's progress disappear. So today, make one simple rule. No new debt. Pause unnecessary spending. If possible, leave your credit cards at home. Delete saved cards from shopping apps. Turn off one-click purchases. Unsubscribe from tempting marketing emails. Create friction between you and impulse buying, because every extra second gives your brain time to ask, do I really need this? Remember, every dollar you don't borrow is a dollar you never have to repay with interest. Here's a powerful question. Will this purchase make my future easier or harder? If the answer is harder, walk away. Step 3, choose your payoff strategy. Now it's time to attack. But don't make the mistake of paying random amounts on random debts. You need a plan. There are 2 popular strategies. Strategy 1, the snowball method. Pay minimum payments on every debt, then put every extra dollar toward your smallest balance. Once it's gone, take that payment and roll it into the next debt, like a snowball rolling downhill. Your payments grow larger and larger. Why does this work? Because motivation matters. Small wins create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence keeps you going. You've now built the foundation. Step 1, face the truth. Step 2, stop creating new debt. Step 3, choose one payoff strategy. But here's where things get exciting. In the next part, I'll show you how to find extra money every single month, even if you think your budget is already stretched. We'll cover the habit that separates people who become debt-free forever from those who end up back where they started. Let's continue. Step 4, find extra money without getting a second job. Here's a myth that keeps people stuck. I need to earn more money before I can pay off debt. More income helps, but it's not where most people should start. The fastest money you'll ever make is often the money you're already losing. For the next 30 minutes, become a financial detective. Open your bank statement. Go through the last 60 to 90 days. Highlight every expense. Now ask one simple question. Would I buy this again today? If the answer is no, that's money you can redirect toward your debt. Maybe it's a streaming service you forgot about. Maybe it's daily takeout. Maybe it's online shopping that gave you 5 minutes of excitement and months of regret. The goal isn't to make life miserable. It's to make your money work for your future instead of your past. Even finding an extra $100 to $300 every month can dramatically speed up your debt payoff. Remember, small amounts repeated consistently create massive results over time. Quick challenge. Before this video ends, cancel one subscription you don't use. Sell one item collecting dust in your home. Skip one unnecessary purchase this week. That's your first extra debt payment. It's not about the amount. It's about proving to yourself that you are now in control. Step 5, make paying off debt automatic. Most people think success comes from motivation. It doesn't. Motivation disappears. Systems remain. Have you ever noticed that bills somehow get paid automatically, but saving money doesn't? Let's flip that. The day your paycheck arrives, schedule your debt payment immediately, before shopping, before entertainment, before anything else. Treat debt payments like rent. They're not optional. Automation removes excuses, it removes forgetfulness, and most importantly, it removes temptation, because money sitting in your account has a funny way of disappearing. If you see it, you'll probably spend it. If it's automatically sent to your debt, you never have the chance. Successful people don't rely on willpower every month. They build systems that make the right choice, the easy choice. James used to promise himself he'd make an extra payment every month. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. Then he set up an automatic payment the day after every paycheck. He stopped negotiating with himself. Within 2 years, he paid off nearly $18,000 in debt. Not because he became more motivated, because he removed the need for motivation. Step 6, stop paying for your past with your future. Here's something most people never realize. Debt isn't just costing you money today, it's stealing opportunities tomorrow. Every dollar spent on interest is a dollar that can't be invested, can't build an emergency fund, can't help you buy a home, can't grow your future. Imagine two friends. Both earn the same salary. One spends years paying interest. The other invests that same money every month. 10 years later, their incomes are identical, but their financial lives look completely different. One owns their money, the other still owes it. That's why paying off debt isn't just about becoming debt-free. It's about reclaiming your future. Every payment isn't punishment, it's progress. Every balance that shrinks gives your future self more choices, more freedom, more peace of mind. Mini action plan. This week, choose one action. Increase your monthly payment by just $25. Sell one unused item and apply every dollar to your debt. Use your next bonus, tax refund, or cash gift to reduce your balance instead of upgrading your lifestyle. Cook at home one extra night each week and send the savings straight to your highest priority debt. These may seem like tiny actions, but tiny actions repeated month after month become life-changing habits. Step 7. Build an emergency fund before life builds more debt. Here's the mistake that traps millions of people. They work incredibly hard, pay off every dollar of debt, celebrate, and 6 months later, they're back in debt again. Why? Because life never stops happening. Cars break down, phones stop working, medical bills appear. Hours get cut at work. Unexpected expenses aren't unusual, they're guaranteed. Without savings, every emergency becomes borrowed money. That's why paying off debt isn't enough. You also need a financial safety net. Start small. Don't wait until you can save thousands of dollars. Even your first $500 or $1,000 emergency fund can prevent many unexpected expenses from turning into new debt. Think of it this way. Your emergency fund isn't there to make you rich. It's there to keep you from going backward. Every dollar in that account is standing guard between you and another credit card balance. Imagine two neighbors. Both lose a tire on the way to work. The first has no savings. The repair goes straight onto a credit card with high interest. Months later, they're still paying for one flat tire. The second has an emergency fund. They pay the bill immediately. No interest, no stress, the same problem. Two completely different financial futures. That's the power of preparation. Step 8. Change your money habits, not just your balance. Here's the biggest lesson of this entire video. Debt isn't only a math problem. It's often a habit problem. If your habits stay the same, your debt usually comes back. Ask yourself these questions. Do I shop when I'm bored? Do I spend money to impress people? Do I buy things because they're on sale instead of because I need them? Do I confuse wants with needs? These questions aren't meant to make you feel guilty. They're meant to help you understand your financial behavior, because awareness creates change. Replace old habits with better ones. Instead of buying something when you're stressed, go for a walk, read a book. Exercise, call a friend. Instead of impulse shopping, wait 24 hours before making non-essential purchases. Most of the time, the urge disappears. The goal isn't to stop enjoying life. The goal is to make intentional decisions instead of emotional ones. Financial freedom starts in your mind long before it appears in your bank account. In this concluding part of this video, we'll be looking at the biggest debt traps to avoid. Trap 1, the minimum payment illusion. This trap is the single most profitable trick in the credit card industry, paying only the minimum. When your statement arrives and says you owe $5,000, but the minimum amount due is only $35, it feels like a gift. Your brain registers it as a win. Awesome, I get to keep $4,965 in my bank account this month. But here is what's actually happening behind the scenes. Minimum payments are mathematically calculated to cover mostly interest and barely touch your actual principal balance. Let's run the numbers. If you have a $5,000 credit card balance at a standard 22% APR and you only pay the minimum each month, do you know how long it will take you to pay it off? Over 18 years. And that $5,000 purchase, you'll end up paying upwards of $11,000 total. The escape plan: treat the minimum payment option like a trapdoor, because it is. Always pay even $20 or $50 above the minimum if that's all you can manage. Even tiny additional payments attack the principal balance directly, cutting years off your debt timeline. Trap 2, using credit for everyday living. Now let me clarify something. Using a credit card to collect cash back points on groceries when you have the money in your checking account to pay it off instantly, that's smart strategy. What we're talking about here is gap funding. When your monthly income literally cannot cover basic survival expenses like groceries, fuel, or utilities, so the credit card becomes your default safety net. If your income can't cover your basic life expenses, using credit doesn't solve the problem. It just borrows from your future income at a steep markup. Every time you swipe for groceries because cash is tight, next month's budget gets even tighter, because now it carries a new credit card bill plus interest. The escape plan. This is a red flag that your budget needs immediate triage. You have two levers to pull here. The short-term cut: audit your last 90 days of bank statements line by line and cut every non-essential subscription, eating out an impulse expense. The income bridge. If your baseline lifestyle is already bare bones and you still can't cover groceries, this isn't a spending problem anymore. It's an income problem. It's time to negotiate a raise, pick up a temporary side hustle, or sell underused items to bridge the gap while you adjust your overhead. Trap number 3, ignoring interest rates. Not all debt is created equal. A $10,000 federal student loan at 4% interest is a completely different financial animal than a $3,000 store card balance at 29.99% interest. Yet so many people group all their debts together under one giant umbrella of stress. When you don't track your interest rates, you run the risk of putting extra money toward a low-interest balance, while high-interest cards silently eat away your income. High-interest debt compounds exponentially against you. The escape plan. You need a strategy. The avalanche method. You pay off your highest interest rate debts first. Mathematically, this saves you the most money. The snowball method. You pay off the smallest balance first for quick psychological wins. Choose whichever method keeps you motivated, but know your numbers. Write down every debt, its total balance, and its APR today. You can't beat an enemy you refuse to look at. Trap number 4, lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. Here's a story that plays out every single day. You work hard, perform well, and finally get a $10,000 raise at work. You celebrate, but within 3 months, you buy a newer car with a $500 per month payment. You move into a nicer apartment with higher rent. You start ordering nicer dinners and upgrading your clothes. Suddenly, even with a higher salary, you feel just as broke as you did before the promotion. Lifestyle inflation is the reason why people making $200,000 a year can still live paycheck to paycheck. If your spending automatically expands to match your income, you will never build wealth or pay off debt. The escape plan. Practice the 50% rule on all new money. Whenever you get a raise, bonus, or tax refund, take 50% of it and put it directly toward debt or savings before you ever see it in your spending account. Use the remaining 50% to upgrade your life and celebrate. This allows you to enjoy your progress while keeping your financial goals moving forward on fast forward. Trap number 5, the social media comparison trap. Finally, trap number 5, and perhaps the most dangerous one in the modern world, comparing yourself to others. We live in a culture that broadcasts luxury and hides leverage. Social media shows you everyone's highlights, the designer bags, the luxury vacations, the modern home renovations. What it never shows you is a 28% interest rate funding that lifestyle, or the anxiety-ridden nights spent wondering how to make the minimum payments. When you try to keep up with the perceived success of others, you end up buying things you don't need, with money you don't have, to impress people you don't even like. Stop financing an image. Real wealth is quiet. Real wealth is options, freedom, and zero financial stress. The escape plan. Curate your environment. Unfollow accounts that trigger impulse shopping or feelings of inadequacy. Focus on building your real future, not someone else's highlight reel. Look, escaping these debt traps doesn't happen overnight, but awareness is always the first step toward real change. The moment you decide to stop letting these subtle traps control your decisions is the moment you start taking back control of your financial future. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Which of these 5 traps have you struggled with the most? And what's one step you're taking this week to break out of it? Let's start a conversation down below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more practical, honest financial guidance. Thanks for watching, keep building, and I'll see you in the next video.